Hi, this is Mark from LongIslandWatch.com. This is one of those, gotta get the video out there. Bunch of new Seikos hit the store. There's GMTs, there's Solar Chronos. Yeah, there's the Pogue one in there. A bunch of different friends. Gonna show you them all. I don't want to take too much time in the intro, so let's get to it. So I have a ton of watches to go over, at least a dozen models. I'm gonna break them up by family, but I am gonna go fast. So this is going to be SRPL 11. You're going to see SRPL 11, 13, and 15. And this is the quote-unquote baby samurai. I just want to take a minute just to, I don't know, maybe someone in the comments can chime in with me or for me, but in the mod community, I do believe a baby samurai case has been available for, as I try to screw the crown out, for quite some time, years. Well before this watch was ever released. So I find that quite interesting that this is kind of like Seiko imitating the mod market. If I'm wrong, call me out on it and tell me below, but I do believe that the mod market came out with the Baby Samurai before. SRPL 11, powered by a Seiko 4R35. That's going to hand wind hack, 40 hours of power reserve. You'll wind it. Beautiful knurled crown, push down and turn for 200 meters of water resistance, but wait a second, it hacks. And the date. Very interesting how they have a little baby date between the 4 and the 5. Is it centered? It actually might be perfectly centered between the markers. I do dig the teeth. Is that what they are? The 3, 6, and 9? And then the rest of the markers. Really nice. The bezel, there we go. Is that better? Nice, beautiful red dial, red bezel insert. It's going to be, so baby is 41.7, 12.3, to a flat hard Lex crystal, 49.5 on the lug to lug, a 20 millimeter bracelet, classic samurai bracelet. This would look awesome on a Hexad. Yes, I'm gonna work on getting one for these. 4-position micro adjust, 4-position micro adjust Seiko clasp. It's gonna have a diver's extension right there. It is part of the Pro Specs series, weighs 170 grams. Lumibright hands and markers, and that's it. So this is the 11. Oh, price, I should say, right? So these are, I just can give you retails, guys, because these are brand new watches. So can you read it upside down? $575. Same price here for the SRPL, I believe this is the 13, black dial. We are, I don't know, did we do the bezel? It's 120 click. Yep, 120 click unidirectional ratcheting bezel. This looks really nice, kind of simple. The numbering on the, oops, I passed it, I'm sorry. The number on the bezel kind of reminds me of something. It kind of reminds me of a sumo-ish, sort of, I don't know. But it's got that classic samurai case, just smaller. All those flat facets. You know, your classic samurai is like 43 and change. So this is a very good option to keep it smaller. And then, at just a bit cheaper, because it's on a rubber strap, would be this IP, kind of a gunmetal, dark gray coated stainless steel case with matching buckle. Same watch, looking at like $450, I think, right? Excuse me, $550. $575 for those? $550 for this one. The numbers and markers are done in Lumibright as well, but a little more vintaged and aged. And breaking with what I usually do, I'm just going to do the quick loom shot now since we have so much to do. So that gunmetal one is in my right hand, and the stainless steel one's in my left hand. So you've got like the Lumibright equivalent of BGW9 on the right and C3 on the left. And there it is on my 6.5, 6 3/4 inch wrist. Plenty of room on the bracelet to go up. Okay, let's move on to the next series of watches. So I'm now going to show you, what, 1, 2, 3, I think 6 speed timers. I think there's a 7th one, it's a night one. I'm not going to feature it because it came out a while ago, but still new to me. Anyway, clearly the most popular one of the bunch is probably the Pogue one here. Probably the Pogue one here that came out a couple of months ago. This is SSC 947. All of the speed timers, the solar speed timers I'm going to show you, are all going to conform to the same specifications. They are all going to be powered by a V192 movement, which has a 6-month power reserve if it doesn't see any daylight once it's fully charged. They are 41.4 in diameter. 13 millimeter stick to a slightly domed, yes, dare I say sapphire crystal, and 45.9 on that old lug tip to lug tip. You're gonna have solid screw down case backs. A lovely 21 millimeter bracelet, and it is solid links. It is sized with pins. By the way, the Samurai, Baby Samurai, was also sized with pins, as is the norm for Seiko, and a decent two-position clasp. There's no diver's extension on this. 164 grams on a bracelet. So again, this is the SSC 947. Retail price is 700 bucks. They're all going to be around the same price. And this guy, as I said, was the re-release, or the release of the Pogue, which is based on the 6139 mechanical or automatic chronograph that Commander Pogue wore into space. A lot of lore around that one, so they just finally decided to recreate a chrono in that same gold with the Pepsi bezel motif. Clearly, though, it's a solar, but they're selling like hotcakes from what I understand from Seiko, so apparently they've got a winner on their hands. So, and we're just gonna cruise through them. They're all gonna be the same specs, right? So this is SSC 939. See the price there? This is really cool, actually. This one really kind of appeals to me. The crown I thought was out. No, it is out. Is there a protector? No, it was just out. There we go. Dark gray dial, like an anthracite dial. A nice white rehaut, and then a blue tachometer bezel. Non-rotating, of course, as you know. And because this is a solar movement, the 3 subdials are the collectors, so those are actually solar cells. So it is a chronograph. It's got a little fuel gauge at the bottom when it's not in chrono mode, and then when you press to start the chronograph, the seconds hand starts ticking, and then it becomes a 60-minute subdial there. 24-hour meter here. They're all going to be the same. It's not independent. It's a slave to the normal time, and then running seconds is here. Stop, reset, and there you go. And then this will go back to being a little fuel gauge after you don't use it for a few minutes. So let's see, I did that one. Let's go to, this one's actually a little bit special. This is a USA special edition. It's got a brushed silver dial, beautiful red bezel, and it also comes with, it's got a nice presentation box and an extra perforated leather strap. This is SSC 945, and it is a bit more because of the specialness of it and the extra strap and stuff like that. $850, probably fairly pricey in my opinion. Let's get the date to roll. There we go. Still powered by the same movement, and we're still looking at all the same size specs. But all in all, it is a great looking watch, but why this is 150 bucks more and it just has an extra leather strap than this one, it's kind of crazy, but it is what it is, and you know, I'm sure it will sell. But then let's come down just a couple of bucks in price because it's not on a bracelet. This is on, again, a perforated leather strap. This is SSC 943, retailing at 680 bucks. So we've got like a beige-ish kind of dial, and then with the green bezel accent. Again, non-rotating, just a tachometer, but just nice colors. They work really well together. It is a deployant clasp, so it's, you know, fairly nice, kind of fancy schmancy, but just great colors. As I said, I'm going through these. I know I'm going through super quick, but that was kind of my plan. Here's a little bit of a two-toner. Gold hands, gold buttons, gold crown, gold. Kind of reminds me of the SSK 021, I think it is, or the 019. I think it's the 021, with some gold accents. Pretty sharp looking watch. I'm normally not a fan of a little bit of gold accent, but I think it works really well here. The black dial, the gold hands, the gold markers, and then the pop of white at the rehaut. Super duper cool. If you want to know the model number, SSC 941, and $720, probably because it's got a little touch of the gold plated parts. I think that's all of them except for this one, which this is not new. I did want to bring it up because, again, new to me, but SSC 909 was another speed timer with the same ice blue dial. I believe it was in a smaller size, but they did it, it was a limited run, and they did it with a black center link bracelet. The watch was gorgeous, the bracelet was hideous. So this is kind of, I don't know if this is the answer to it in a non-limited run, SSC 935. $700, but beautiful ice blue dial with the black bezel. Everything on this one works really well, and a normal, dare I say normal, normal bracelet to boot. Cool looking piece, really nice. But again, this is in that 41.4 millimeter form factor. And that's all your solar chronos. Let's move on to something automatic. I know, you came for the whole show. So sorry, here it is on my 6.5, 6.75 inch wrist. Fits me great. Plenty of room to go on the bracelet. I do prefer the fit of the smaller, the SSC like 813, the original speed timers at like, what were those, like 38, 39 millimeters. But these look good on me, but I can certainly tell from all the releases and stuff that Seiko is definitely pushing the larger agenda, if you will. And I'm just gonna do a quick loom shot. I'm just reaching down and picking another one of these guys up so you can see. Basically, when you see the loom, and it's kind of this tannish color, that's more of like their BGW9, you know, bluish, glows blue. And then when you see the more white, that's gonna be like the C3 green. And as promised, the green on your left and that kind of BGW9 blueness on your right. But these are Seiko's LumiBrite, not Super Luminova compounds, but still, you get the idea. So what do you do when you come out with a new watch movement? You have all these existing lines. Well, you retrofit the watches to fit that new movement. And the Presage is starting to get, it did a few months ago, they did a GMT, and now here's 3 more kind of cocktail time GMTs. This is the Presage Automatic GMT. These are going to be models numbers SSK 37, 39, and 41. Runs on the 4R34 movement. You can see it right there through the case back. Kind of interesting that it's not a gold plated rotor, because on the old Presage, on the 4R35 models, they were always gold plated, but it is Presage and it is definitely going to be made in Japan. So this is going to be like your SRPB 43-ish, if you will, but just in GMT format. So all 3 of them are going to be the same on size, 40.5, 12.8, and 47.5 on the lug tip to lug tip. It is a 20 millimeter bracelet, very similar, if not exactly the same, as the bracelet that's already on the original Cocktail Times with the double push button butterfly clasp, again with the exhibition case back, and that beautiful, what made the Cocktail Time famous, that Cocktail Time dial, with but now with the GMT hand, which I actually dig. I think it's a pretty sweet GMT hand, right? And then I don't know, I'm kind of ho-hum on what they do with the numbering for the GMT scale around the outside. Is that confusing? Because you have 12-hour time as just markers, and then embedded in that is the 24-hour scale, kind of sharing the same real estate as the 12-hour time. Am I thinking too deeply about it? I don't think so. I don't know. You lost me on this one, Seiko. I'm sorry. But anyway, it's a beautiful watch. SSK 037, this one's $595. Moving on to a leather strap version, kind of like a star bar kind of coloring here with on the dial, if you remember that one. And then you have a gold GMT hand with a gold GMT scale around the outside. Your pricing here is going to stick at $595. Beautiful leather strap, and then a nice deployant clasp, exhibition case back. Sizing's the same. Again, it's a 4R34, so hand winds hacks. Sorry about the glare. One pull out will do the date and the GMT hand. Now you are looking, what attracts me to these watches would be the box crystal. Super duper nice. People are going to ask if the box sapphire that we sell as an aftermarket part for the SRPB 41 models will fit this one. I don't know yet. It should, but the hand stack is going to be a little bit different, so I haven't tried it yet, so don't know yet. And then the other one is going to be like a chocolatey kind of dial. As another SSK model, same price, again with that kind of intermingled GMT scale around the outside. It does not appear to be, nope, just like the other Cocktail Times, there is no loom on this, so we're just going to go right to a quickie wrist shot. So here we go on my 6.5, 6.75 inch wrist. It fits me great. It's a beautiful watch. I do love the Cocktail Time. I own a Power Reserve version, one of the old SSA models. This is Beautiful, fits me fine. Again, I'm just kind of, I love the hand, I love everything. You just lost me on the GMT scale. I don't know how I would have done it, but I just think you kind of confusing here. But that's that. On to the last thing. You know what I love about this one? The cheapest of the bunch. It comes in the largest box. We're going to be looking at SRPL 03 and SRPL 05 at the retail price of $450. And well, as soon as I figure out how to open the box, there we go. Retails are $450, and both of these are going to be limited to a small 10,000 pieces. I'm kidding, but no, 10,000 or 9,999 pieces. And this is going to look just like the, I think the SRPK, as I murder this thing. Oh my goodness, who the hell packs these things? SRPK 41 or something, or the SRPK 17, which is another limited run that they did. Sorry for the packaging, though, is, I know, kind of interesting to some people. I won't do this with the second one. I finally am there. I got to the watch. It took me a little bit. So here, oh my goodness, this is, I'm like wrestling with this watch today. So this is SRPL 03, and you probably can tell the watch that it's modeled after already. I don't know if you saw it. Comes with an extra leather strap, but I want to say I do a lot of this offhand without scripting, so if you couldn't tell. I want to say it's like the SRPK 17 or the 41 or something. So it's a bi-directional. It's a recreation of a vintage watch. It's got that same kind of, that vintagey, well, looks like a Twistle Flex, but it's not. This solid link bracelet, two-position micro-adjust clasp. Let's go through it really quick. So this guy is going to be, 38.5 on the diameter, 12.4 thick to a slightly curved hardlex crystal, 44.5 on the lug tip to lug tip, 20 millimeter lugs, folded end links, and sized with pins, 142 grams on the bracelet. I said this is a limited run, 100 meters of water resistance, 10,000 per unit. So that's this one, and now let's check out the other one. And here is the other color. Again, this looks just like that SRPK that I can't remember. I can go with 41. I don't know. I'll put it up on screen. But I will say, if you buy one of these, tell me, are they not the most tightly packed watch you've ever seen in your life? It actually took me like 3 or 4 minutes just to get it out of the packaging. But this is it. Same specs as the one I just mentioned. It's this, really cool cushion case design. Like I said, very vintagey. I think they had such a hit with the first one that they decided to do a whole bunch more. If you can't tell, this is going to be powered by, I don't think I mentioned it, a 4R36 movement. So it's, you can have a dual language day and date. So we could just switch it so you can see it does come in English. There you go, Monday. Nice silver markers, silver hands. You can hand wind it. The crown is definitely tucked away really tight, but it is not screw down. So easy to access, roll it with your finger. The bezel, again, is bi-directional. And I think that's it. I showed you a ton of watches. I appreciate your patience if you stuck around. This has been Mark from LongOnWatch.com showing you a whole bunch of new Seikos. Please like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you have not done so. Questions, comments, put it down below. Be sure to address it as soon as I can. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.